Hi friends, and welcome to episode 16 of my Sea Ice Challenge series. I'm Icon, and today we will enjoy a wonderful summer together. It's a mild temperature of minus 33 degree outside there. It's time to replant the rice plants because the stockpiles are dropping a little bit, and let's see what the summertime brings. Usually I do have new trade caravans with the summertime. With some luck, even some animals might wander into... Okay, nice. That's scary and promising at the same time. I think I might want to try and tame a pair. If Bishop is able to, that is. Oh yeah, Animal 7. Hell yeah. Here we go, man. So the idea is quite simple. A pair of muffalos would help me so friggin' much here. It's just something I can't say no to. The only problem would be that the muffalos would need to live inside during the winter time. But beyond that, I don't see any other problems. Maybe not that smart, no. Not that smart at all, sadly. Oh, so sad. I only hope that I'll find a trade caravan soon, or a trade caravan finds me soon, rather, and brings me some building materials, because, I mean, we do have a very, very large amount of steel available right now. There's lots of steel scraps lying around, and we even had steel drop pods lately, and that's very helpful. That's out of question, but at the same time, I feel like it's really dangerous to use steel as a building material because it's flammable, and I need it to build other stuff with. So, not that charmed, you know. Okay. So for now, I'll just forbid the smoke leaf leaves because Bishop is just too busy rolling the reefers. And honestly, I've already got, what, 70 of them? And I rather want to use the mild weather of these days to do these these pesky hauling jobs, my god, language. And acquire as many of these materials as possible before things go difficult again. Another volcanic winter. Well, the rewards are just not that tempting. The sculpture is good. Gotta admit that sculpture would come in very, very handy. I have, until this very time, no art whatsoever, but, you know, I'm also not that unlucky right now. So, look at that. Where does this muffalo want to go? This is very good for me, because I didn't dare to hunt those muffalos while they are in a herd, but if they are no longer in a herd, I don't care shooting them, because with burden, it's very easy to run away from one muffalo or more. But if they go into group revenge here, that's quite deadly quite quickly. Okay, they're already migrating off the map again. Let me see. Well, that's a shame, isn't it? But with two of them at once, Bishop can't deal with. So this will yield me 3 muffalos to work with. Corpses, of course, but that's just fine. That's a lot of resources for us, and I'm really, really happy about that. Now, let's send him resting here. I'll lock them for now, because they will decay outside, yes. But at the same time, they also give me an option to stockpile foods in a simple way. You know, the muffalo contains, in this form, its fur and its meat compacted on one grid. If I start slaughtering them, I have to deal with the spread, and my storage is so limited right now. It's seriously one of the biggest problems in this run. The massive shortage of real good storage. Like, right now I'm working with storage ways that are just not really good. I mean, this area is just too small. It's not bad at all. There's not much I could do except for making this area larger, but it's really infuriating that I'm still stuck with a few tiles of storage space, and what's even worse about it, it has been way less than that. But it's all fine. It just leads to such shenanigans like I do them now with the Muffalos to keep them fresh as long as possible. Okay, I won't be picking up Astrid, because with this quest there's a chance that these guys want to betray you, and honestly I am too scared about this scenario to give it a try, because I'm alone, and if somebody tries to betray me while we are here locked in that shack, it's very, very bad. Oh my god, are you kidding me? I mean, yay, a silver ore meteorite, but out there? All the way out there? Jeez. And Bishop doesn't even have any mining skills, so... well. Luckily, I do have a pretty sick insulation until now. So, well... good old Bishop. At the end of this run, he will be able to do everything he wants to. Mining is the last skill he needs to develop now. Well, the thing is, I really do want to mine out this, mine away this meteorite, simply because it gives me a option to trade with spaceships that don't accept my goods. Right now, that's one of my biggest issues, that I got wares, but the last two traders weren't willing to pay for them, or buy them much more. So, that silver meteorite there will solve a few of these problems. There's a snow bunny, but I don't care. Snow bunny's already leaving the map. If they walk that decisive somewhere, it's always because they are already deciding to give your map the finger and go somewhere else. That's okay though. So that's a quite busy summer. Can't really decide about what work has to be done first, but I really want to make sure that these resources get into my possession as quick as possible, because right now we are suffering from a massive shortage of materials. And if things stay like that, I might be even considering using the steel as building material. You know, if you get that much of a resource, it might be smart to change your plans accordingly. So the Friends of Blood are now coming with 2 enemies. Things are getting worse and worse. Luckily they are not well insulated, so John is definitely going to have a problem with this during this attack. But this is very, very unfortunate. A gentle snow hare. We have to take care of a pet for a certain amount of time. Okay. So what this also tells me is that it's friggin' time to stock up on defenses. I need to create myself something to work with. Alright. I need to get back inside before that guy with the rifle is just sniping me. Okay. Now we're going to burden him and hopefully shoot him down. Oh yeah, that was a headshot. That's good. I need to burden that smarty person too. And most importantly, keep my fire on John. Alright, that's what we needed. He even dropped a dosage of Wake Up, but seriously, this is a very, very frightening situation to begin with. 2 enemies against me like that is one thing, but if they both come with guns, things are getting worse and worse. So we have to reconsider our defenses at this point rather quickly, because this is freaking scary. I just consider myself very, very lucky that I was able to take down that guy with the rifle this quickly. Starting out with a headshot was a massively positive event there. It's crippled him right away. Any injury towards the head is extremely powerful. I'm not approving what he's doing here right now. Like, yeah, whatever. It's just the that he went for the steel slag chunks first didn't make me too happy, but now we got that. Alright, it's time for two things. I need another colonist, and I need more defense measures. So I personally tend to put up a gun turret next, because a gun turret is not costing me any extra resources except for steel, and steel seems to be that one resource I come up with quite easy right now. And turrets also distract your enemies. That's also very powerful. So let's put up one here. It's just a quite heavy investment on the components, but I feel like after this incident I want to have a extra layer of defense. Just flicking it off because it's power, and I don't want to waste any power. Alright, traders, please! Come on! What's wrong with you? Why is nobody coming to trade with me? If I finally would receive a trade opportunity... Ah, a slave ship. Another really, really horrible trader. I think slavers buy drugs though, so at least we can afford a little bit of something. But beyond that, it's just another opportunity to buy ourselves new components and nothing except for that. Oh dear, that's so horrible. Like, I'm so unlucky this run, it's amazing. I think that's the 4th trader now in a row that just doesn't sell anything I really need. Or, no, he doesn't buy my wares, so that's more like what's happening there. So, do I need to shut down the power? No, I don't. Okay. No, Bishop. We're burying Clark. We're not butchering Clark. We're burying Clark. Got me? There's the difference. It starts both with B, but one is messy and one is not. Another slaver? Come on! What is wrong with you, game? At least a pack of man-hunting squirrels is now attacking those filthy slavers. But seriously, a slave ship has the same trade preferences as a slaver has, so it's not really going better here. So that guy is just buying my wake up. Yay. Whew. That's rough, man. So basically both traders were just horrible. Can just hope that the next trader will be a little bit less unfortunate. But it was a wise choice after all to go for the smoke leaf production, because that gave me at least the opportunity to buy myself some goods that were really important, aka components. I mean, now I at least got a amount of components which is not that life-threatening anymore. Because honestly, it was really scary for me to see how short my components were. 17 components now makes me a lot more confident. The turret's main value, by the way, is not so much in killing enemies, but in attracting enemies in general. Enemies will always attack the first thing that's attacking them, and therefore it's really cool to have such installations running. Alright, so poor old Bishop needs now to invest most of his time in money gain things. I mean, the good news about that, he's leveling his cooking to a really decent level with that. Rolling the reefers is a good practice, obviously. But yeah, it doesn't really help me in any way, in any meaningful way, to get past my problems here, which kind of annoys me a teeny tiny bit. Alright, I just figured that I can simply store all the textiles in here, because I don't want any textiles outside of the, or inside this room. I won't be selling textiles raw, but I will be selling pretty much everything which is made out of these textiles. It makes this room a little bit more ugly, but you know. If it's cleaned up, it's still very impressive because it's super rich. So. Dang, how friggin' unfortunate. Most of the summer is already all over, and I don't have any extra material to work with. That's so unfortunate. Because I gotta say, these parkas I carry around here, or have lying around here, I should rather say, are worth a tiny fortune. I think this is easily 1k or 1.5k silver lying around here, just in parkas. So, we just have to be patient, I guess. Speaking about patience, let's see what happens next. A couple of days later, nothing really has happened except for a small power discharge in the walls here, which didn't really do much to us. The next batch of smoke leaf plants was ready, but I also realized when I checked this out that Bishop's plants skill has now finally reached a level of 6, which enables me to create psychete items. I really hope that psychete-based drugs will give us even more profit, but what I definitely know is that psychete tea will be produced quicker at the stove than we can roll those reefers at the crafting spot. So therefore, I decided to swap my production over. Also, I finally managed to haul all the steel from this area into my shack. So there were a few things that just went smooth during these days, but except for that, nothing really has happened in the remaining summer. I really hope that I'll get trolled a little bit less by the traders. I just was pondering about if I should have farmed that silver meteorite harder, but then I realized with Bishop's mining skill of 0, you know, yes, you can farm silver in this way, but it's also rather dangerous, and I felt like accumulating all that steel felt like the safer choice compared to mining out there. Because if we remember those raiders that attacked me, they came exactly from that corner. And in situations like these, especially when you are alone, I've lost a playthrough exactly for that reason. That's why I'm saying it. Because there was one playthrough where I had exactly the situation that I had a person standing too close to the map's borders while a pack of manhunting wolves appeared. Instant mayhem. So this is a rather tricky fella, and that's why I'm not pushing too hard towards mining it, especially since Bishop still has mining 0. Just in case if you are wondering why I didn't press harder for that meteorite, because, you know, I think if I would have been able to farm it down, I see a certain chance of gaining enough money that I would have been able to build to buy a new colonist. But then again, I thought it through. Another colonist needs more space, and you know, it all boils down to I need one opportunity at least which just yields material to work with, nothing else. So what I'll do though is build a second turret now. Due to my wealth of steel, I feel like I can do. The problem with turrets is they shoot steel. That's their biggest downside. They reduce your steel, but their really positive side is they attract enemies, they tank enemies for you, and sometimes they even explode on enemies for you. So there's really a couple of good things going on for turrets. So still a pretty harsh situation right now. There's nothing more we can do now except for waiting a little bit longer. So let's see what happens next. A couple of days later, all the plans have been processed, and I have now forbidden the usage of the smoke leaf joints, and Bishop is finally getting back into research. It has been quite some time since he had free time to research some, but at least that has happened now. Meanwhile, my rice is depleting somewhat, but I really want that rice to deplete because the muffalos outside are deteriorating, and I don't want that to be a thing. I could put up a roof above that, but at the same time, I don't really think that's necessary. You see, they are deteriorating because of unroofed and outdoors. Basically, every one of these conditions costs an item 1 HP per day, as far as I know, roughly. So I could slow down the deterioration of these corpses by 50%, but I'm pretty sure if I just let my rice run out, I'll be achieving the same thing with less micromanagement. Just some explanations on the side. The psychoid plans will be ready soon as well, and psychoid plans are much more attractive in my opinion because smoke leaf joints give you a decrease in consciousness, like I mentioned it several times before in the series, and you won't be able to stop your colonist from using these things unless you block that complete stack. But if you block that stack, they won't be putting new things on that stack. And because I don't want to die from micromanagement, I just have blocked it after the stack has been finished. But Bishop had a few reefers in between, and I don't like that too much. But Psychete tea might make you addicted at some point, but it only makes you more active. It's basically like the coffee of the Rimworlds, so therefore I prefer that much more over the smoke leaf production there, especially since we can produce very interesting other drugs out of the psychoid plants, but I think it grows even slower than the smoke leaf. But in the end, right now, food is not really any of my concerns, and the only concern I got is that extreme lack of trading opportunities. But I have already thought through so many things. Oh, a Arctic wolf animal migration. Oh dear, sounds dangerous. They're just passing through. The thing is, I could have created friendship with my neighbors with transport pods if they weren't that far away. Besides that, transport pods are a quite costly way of doing trade over long distances, but that would have been at least an option. But I think none of my friends are close enough to be reached via transport pod. Maybe these down there, but I highly doubt it actually. Long story short, we are alone here, and we can't change that for now, so yeah, let's see what event will happen next to us. So, after the long waiting time, I finally got the desired bulk goods trader ship. Oh my god. I couldn't believe my eyes when it popped up, but it finally happened, so we're now ready to trade some. Let's first off sell away all the items we didn't want to have here in the first place and see. So that's 2.2k of money right available from this scratch. Really good. So what do we need actually? Really need. So I definitely want to pick up a few more components because, you know, it's just important. And after that, we will grab ourselves, let's see, a couple of 100 marble blocks, maybe even 1,000. Yeah, why not? and the rest will go into steel. Or, wait a sec, I'll rather see it the other way around. Maybe something like that. Yeah, I like that. 300 units of steel and the rest flows into marble blocks. Usually, or in the future, I will buy more steel from these guys because steel is friggin' important and it should never be postponed like that. But right now, building materials are so imperative for me that I don't want to mess around with that. Alright, marble blocks. Hundreds of them. Awesome. Now let's see, is there anything else I wanted to sell here? I started slaughtering the first of the muffalos, and maybe we'll continue with that. Because I see a decent chance of me crafting 1 or 2 new pieces of clothing before the traders leave. That could be an option to gain a few pieces of silver extra. So we're going to make a complete set of clothing here. Also with the idea behind that to see if Bishop doesn't need anything new. Sometimes they just grab the new clothing if they really feel like it's better than what they're wearing right now. But if not, well, I'd rather sell everything right away as soon as I have it produced. I'm very scared about this opportunity just passing by, you know. So therefore, I rather min-max a bit right now. Because, you know, this might be one of my last opportunities for the next year. You saw what happened to acquire new resources, so I'm rather a little bit overcautious with that whole topic right now. And let's see, so there goes a new parka, and Bishop is immediately swapping that out. I mean, blue fur is among the best materials a person can wish for when it comes down to parka tailoring, but the sheep wool parka also was worth a couple of 100 silver, or a little bit more than 100 silver. That's what I wanted to say. So let's buy a few more components here, shall we? And I think, yeah, there wasn't more material available, but that's just awesome. We're now finally able to expand. And see, Tuku's travelers just left the comms range, so I didn't even do anything wrong with my assumption there. We only had that so and so much time. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is to expand my storage area here. Like that. Yeah, this looks like a good idea. The good news here is we can reacquire many of these materials, and therefore we don't have to haul everything that far. And the next thing I want to do is building a area which is somewhat meant to keep a new colonist safe. At the same time, let's see, we need to go there. Let's see, is that right? No, not quite. Here. So, I really want to wall myself also off a little bit more. You know, there. But these are for now just marked out like that. Oops. Because I honestly got no clue if I got the necessary materials to make that happen. Nice. Now that was a very, very fortunate thing to happen, and it even happened during the fall time, so there's still enough time left to do something outside before the winter bites my fingers off. Because, you know, winter time is always the least favorable time to build stuff, obviously. But there's still 7 days of fall left, and I am very confident that Bishop has a good chance of getting the job done before it's too uncomfortable for him. Alright friends, so I'd say that was a very, very good episode for today. I'm so happy that I finally got these extra resources and it's finally happening. We're expanding our storage area in a substantial way. I mean, you know, this is all going to be now our new storage. Just want to finish that room before I finish today's episode, because I feel like it's necessary to finish that. Here we go. Come on, roof that, buddy. Strike's stash of goodies. Yeah, sure. I'll just walk outside there and freeze to death for you. No problem. Alright friends, so I'd say that's where we end for today. I got a massive storage now, and that allows me to operate on a completely different level when it comes down to money grinding now. And that's really, really good. I mean, that's basically what we needed all the way. And I'm pretty sure next episode I will be also able to bring up some sort of environment for another colonist. I mean, it's going to be a little bit complicated because we're going to need extra heaters. And I'm also not entirely sure if I'm really drawing those walls like I do, or if I am not considering a construction like possibly this. Space is already occupied. Ah, yeah, because of the walls. Like where I'm adding a few more turbines into the grid. Maybe something like that. Who knows? I'm really not that sure if I'll be better off expanding that grid a little bit, but I think the answer is yes. Because we have to rely solely on wind power here. Solar power doesn't work in the winter time, and if it doesn't work in the winter time, what good is it then? Medicine. Now then, thanks for watching, guys. Drop me your comments down below. I'd be more than happy to hear from you. And as usual, your thumbs up help a lot to make this series more visible. And if you want to drop this channel your subscription, don't forget to turn on the notifications and don't miss any future content from my side. Whatever you do or don't, I hope you have a great day and a great time, or whatever, maybe it's evening time for you. Just have a great time. See you soon. Bye-bye.